Welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package for today. I am your presenter, Alian Christopher. First up, Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Steve Farrell earlier today provided the general public with more information as it relates to a special program initiated by the government of Dominica. Last week, the Prime Minister announced 1,100 jobs targeting job holders who lost their jobs post-Maria. The Cabinet Secretary reminded the public that the job program is targeted at employment for personal job holders, persons made redundant, displaced or otherwise out of a job as a result of Hurricane Maria.
The Honorable Prime Minister explained this as being one of the most important decisions his government has had to take after listening to the many made redundant and after discussions and interventions of several more. For many of the householders and families, the loss of job of any provider must be direct and a devastating blow. The program, therefore, can be described as another innovative and proactive decision and policy to address what was in essence a complex challenge facing many families and households across the country. The Cabinet last week approved the recommendation of the
Farrell noted that the special supervision will remain under the portfolio of the Prime Minister and administered through the Cabinet Secretariat under the general supervision of the Secretary to the Cabinet. The Cabinet Secretary also stated that the program should be transitional and operated for a period of 6 months in the first instance.
The program itself should explore all job opportunities within the public sector and the private sector, including opportunities within the firms and agencies that may have made the very persons redundant purely based on its inability to pay. Every effort will be made to refer all applicants who fall outside the scope of this program to other available government-provided opportunities.
Some of the functions of the program, Farrell stated, will be first to develop an update and listing of all redundancies and layoffs to workers as a result of the impacts of Maria on businesses and agencies.
We would expect that the program itself will research all possible jobs available and to keep under review the listing of the job opportunities. In the private sector, as I said earlier, the special focus will be on opportunities available in the companies and agencies from which the people were made redundant, where the only reason is based on the companies or agencies' ability to pay. Where opportunities are available, but at a future date, the job placement can also be of a temporary nature up until the availability of the new positions. Focus will be placed on job openings as a result of new investments and expansions in
The job program is expected to commence on March 1st. And the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project, DVRP, under the Ministry of Health and Environment continues to implement projects aimed at improving data collection capacities and the development of hazard monitoring systems to reduce vulnerability to climate change impacts. One such activity is the design and the development of a robust hydrometeorology network for the Commonwealth of Dominica. The hydrometeorology network is designed to achieve several objectives, including the establishment of a data collection facility, hydrometeorology information system to collect and provide real-time decimation of information to include flash flood early warnings through a web portal that will be operated by the Dominica Meteorological Service. To date, a number of preliminary and preparatory activities have been completed by the Hydrometeorological Technical Working Group, comprised of representatives from Lands and Service Division, Forestry Division, Division of Agriculture, the WASCO, the Dominica Meteorological Services, and the Ministry of Public Works and Ports. The team's work plan is coordinated by the Project Coordination Unit of the DVRP and led by consultant Mark Hegley from the United States. And also in the news, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has announced that the Cabinet has taken a decision to allocate $7.5 million to the Ministry of Housing to assist with repairs of homes across the country. Speaking at a recent press briefing, the Prime Minister said the funds are available to the Ministry of Housing, and when necessary, the funds will be transferred to the village councils to assist with the efficiency of the assistance meeting the people in need.
Because we want to ensure before the dawn of the next hurricane season, we all have a roof over our head. And that's the intention of the government. And so we will utilize every and all mechanisms that is efficient and effective in the execution of that responsibility. And I've mandated the Ministry of Housing.
The Prime Minister noted that the Ministry of Housing has been mandated to commence the program as early as Tuesday.
I have all of the names of people who require fixing the homes. I have the estimates, I have the labor, I have the invoices. So I don't see why the Ministry of Housing should not have the monies in the village council by Tuesday for the people of Pennville, Vickers, and Tebow. Minister Blackmore has a very thick list, just thick like that, of names of people in his constituency. His constituency is very large, you know. He always reminds us of that. So those funds will be dealt with, and it'll be efficient. There are no weeks in that Ministry of Housing it should take. And I've said to them, bring in a special team that has no other responsibilities but to review the estimates, review the invoices, and take it forward. Make sure planning is involved in supervising the roofs. We have engineers, Safote, who is assisting us. They'll be also involved in ensuring that they go to homes and inspect those homes, that they're done properly, and it meets the specifications of the planning authority.
Prime Minister of Dominica, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. And we'll be back with more news right after this break. And welcome back to CBN4's Primetime News Package. The West Indies Cricket Board, in collaboration with UNICEF, held a training session for coaches on child protection in sports, fair play. Gemma Azil-Luis, coordinator of child abuse prevention, stated that the session focused on training coaches and aspiring coaches in cricket to have more knowledge on child protection as it relates to the do's and don'ts when it comes to coaching children. Lewis also indicated that this training session also teaches the coaches to adopt certain practices in order to protect themselves from being accused of abusing a child. The training session also teaches the coaches about actions that they can take to protect children who are entrusted in their care while coaching in cricket.
So today we are basically teaching the coaches these things in child protection and helping them understand that it's not just about winning, but also ensuring that the children that are in entrusted in the care during the coaching period, they are responsible for ensuring that the children, while they have fun, but they are also protected. So this is not the first training we have done. We started this training in 2014, and we have trained quite a few coaches over that time, and we're continuing through 2017 to ensure that every coach and every person aspiring to be a cricket coach is trained in child protection. It is also something that is mandated by the West Indies Cricket Board in order that you can move up another level in coaching and be recognized by the West Indies Cricket Board as a qualified cricket coach. One of the things that you must do, and it is mandated, that you are trained in the area of child protection. So this is a very important workshop. It is timely. Of course, we do have children being abused in sports, and sports can create a very well suited environment for persons to take advantage of children, and we want to ensure that no one takes advantage of a child, whether it is at home or even when the children are doing something that they love, such as playing cricket.
Lewis further noted that the WICB is ensuring that training coaches and aspiring coaches about child protection becomes part of its mandated stipulations in becoming a qualified cricket coach. And the Woodbridge Bay port, as we all know, has been booming with activity since the passage of Hurricane Maria. Numerous agencies from around the world responded to Dominica's aid, as well as friends and families of the Dominican people. That means a lot more containers are being brought into Dominica with a lesser amount departing. The problem of adequate storage has been a real challenge for DASPA. The Chief Executive Officer, Benoit Badwell, indicated that the parking lot of the Woodbridge Bay port has since been used to store empty containers. Even so, the port requires more space to store these containers. However, it appears that the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority is utilizing the Portersville Savannah to address the issue of storage. Marissa Stedman reports from the Portersville Savannah.
And admittedly, the situation at the port very hectic since the passage of Hurricane Maria on September 18, 2017. Storage has been a problem that the Chief Executive Officer and his staff have been trying to resolve. That is why we have seen the abundance of empty containers being stored on the parking lot at the Woodbridge Bay port. But presently, it appears that a measure has been implemented, that is to make use of the Portersville Savannah, which formerly served as a landfill for much of the debris that was being removed from the capital city, Roseau. It is presently being used to store containers. Look behind me, you can see that the entire area has now been resurfaced, a place that had presented itself as a landfill, storing galvanized tins and every sort of rubble and debris being removed from the capital city and environs was being transported to the Portersville Savannah. But the area has been completely resurfaced using tarish and stones and is now being used to store containers. So for those persons who have been complaining that the situation at the port is so hectic, they're not able to get their containers, they're not able to get barrels and relief supplies being sent from family and friends, this is one measure that is being used to accommodate the facility at the Woodbridge Bay port and ensure smooth and easy running. Marissa Stedman reporting from Portersville Savannah, CBN4 News.
And also in the news, a number of heavy equipments recently arrived here on the island to assist with the cleanup after the devastation left behind by Hurricane Maria. On October 4, 2017, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit stated that there is a challenge pertaining to the adequate number of heavy equipments and heavy equipment operators here in Dominica.
A challenge on contrary of the adequate number of heavy equipment we have on island operators.
The first order of business for these heavy equipments is to descend on the rivers, the Prime Minister noted at a recent press briefing.
Many rivers that are posing serious danger to lives and properties across Dominica. The Roseau River, the people on the riverbank and apartments and along the river street cannot sleep at night, even when it's drizzling. You know, I visited Coptol, for example, at the back where my friend Mason lives. You know, Mason's porches are hanging over the river. where my friend Dr. Dublin and others live. And if we do not do something for them there, urgently, all of his investments people have there will be washed away. Because it was affected by Erica, and it was also affected dramatically by Maria. So the whole of Coptal runs the risk of being affected if we do not bring in heavy duty equipment there to manage the dredging of the river, redirect the flow of the water to mitigate against disasters. And also the Melville River, we have Pishle that continues to threaten the lives of people down there. We have Castle Comfort. All the properties have been affected. Anchorage, Dive Dominica, Evergreen. By this, courts have had to vacate this entire structure. So we'll be descending on the rivers of Dominica as a first order of business, literally from tomorrow morning. So we welcome this heavy equipment. Obviously, we all know the challenge we have in Dominica. We do not have sufficient equipment.
The Prime Minister said these heavy equipments are welcomed here in Dominica. He stated further that the quicker we as a Dominican people can recognize that we need help will be better for us.
From tomorrow morning. So we welcome this heavy equipment. Obviously, we all know the challenge we have in Dominica. We do not have sufficient equipment. One company had to bring in a few from St. Vincent last year to assist us. But a lot of these people who have equipment are engaged in their private work, and you cannot get equipment as you want it. And time is of the essence. You know, this is why I'm saying we in Dominica, we must stop fooling ourselves. The government, all of us in Dominica must stop fooling ourselves that we have all of the human resources and the skills and the talents to respond to this disaster. The quicker we can get up as a citizen and recognize that we need help, and any and all help we can get, it's better for us. But some people may want to look at contracts, they may have contracts for 2 years, but we do not have 2 years for some things. We do not have 2 years to dredge the Rosa River. We do not have 2 years to cover people's roofs. We do not have 2 years to build, to design, to cost, and to build a number of the edge and retaining walls for the edge failures across Dominica. So we have to continue to be in an emergency mode for the foreseeable future.
Marisa Stedman also reported at Massac, where some of the trucks are based.
And Alien, it is a known fact that after the passage of Hurricane Maria, a massive cleanup was being undertaken, and that required heavy machinery, all sorts of equipment that could be useful towards the cleaning up of the area, particularly trucks. And today we're witnessing here in the community of Massac that a number of trucks and caterpillars, all sorts of heavy equipment essential to cleaning and restoration works, are being stored here on the Massac playing field. Now, after the passage of Hurricane Maria, we have footage that will show you that this place was being used as a landfill to store a lot of the debris being removed from this community. But now, just like the Pottersville Savannah, this area has been completely resurfaced using sand and is now used as the parking area for much of the heavy equipment that is arriving in Dominica. Marisa Stedman reporting from Massac, CBN4 News.
The Prime Minister also noted that his only disappointment is that of a late start with the project. He said there were some issues of transportation for these heavy equipments. And that takes us to the end of today's Primetime News package. On behalf of the entire CBN4 team, I am Ali and Christopher saying thank you for watching, and join us again next time.